Hi everyone, this is Tanner from the Man to Man College Podcast channel, and welcome to another episode of Turnover Tuesday, the series where we talk about college football. Now, in the future, I'm going to be doing more detailed mock drafts, so I wanted to do a video where I ranked the top 5 current college quarterbacks playing who I think are the 5 best. Now, this will be both an audio and visual presentation, so that's why this is a YouTube exclusive. This will not be on Spotify or iTunes, only YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, college and the NCAA is very kind of stingy with their copyrights, so I cannot show footage of the players or games. But if you do want to check them out, then I will say where they play us. So, number one here is Malik Willis from Liberty. I love Malik Willis. I think that he is the best current college quarterback. Does he have his issues? Yeah, he has a couple cons, but I think in this NFL, today's game, you have to extend the play, be great in the pocket, and make those tight NFL throws. And I think Malik Willis can do that. So let's talk about his pocket ability. He has a strong arm, and not only can he make deep throws, which he can do very well and it's fun to watch, he can really get to that second and third level of defense very fast and efficient. If a wide receiver is going to the sideline and if like a defensive back's trailing close, Malik Willis can get that throw where his wide receiver can make the catch. Tight sideline passes, and you have to do that in the NFL. I think, from college to the NFL, the game is sped up very fast, and I think Malik Willis can adapt very well. So he's great in the pocket. He's also really good on the run. He is pretty fast. I feel like every mobile NFL quarterback runs differently. His speed is kind of like that of Kyler Murray's, and he has the physicality of a Josh Allen, and he is pretty great throwing on the run too. So Malik Willis can beat you in the pocket with his strong arm and efficiency. He can take off and get like 20 yards like that, and he's also great throwing on the run. So 3 levels where I think he really excels at. He's 6'1", 225, so he definitely can stand the pocket. But man, watching him, his ability to take off is really fun. I would say definitely I recommend watching him. Check out some games, some Liberty college football games. He is going to have some down-to-down inaccuracies, but he reminds me a lot of Josh Allen coming out. Josh Allen, a couple of years ago, coming out of Wyoming in the 2018 draft, was very raw as a prospect. But now Josh Allen is playing like a top 10 quarterback, kind of in that range. And I think Malik Willis could get there in the NFL. The best fits, in my opinion, are the Philadelphia Eagles. Malik Willis kind of has this confidence about him. I think he would be great with Philly. I think Malik Willis is also a better version of Jalen Hurts. I think Willis is agile like Hurts, but I think Willis has a more accurate arm. So I would love him with Philadelphia. Then I have the Giants. Malik Willis kind of has that big play ability, and I think that would fit well in New York. And then the Steelers. The Steelers, if they want to go with athletic quarterback, I think Malik Willis definitely can fit that. So he is number one for me. I really love Malik Willis. Number 2, I want to have Kenny Pickett. So number 2 is Kenny Pickett. Now he is rising pretty fast here out of Pittsburgh. He is kind of coming up on people's rankings, and I do like Kenny Pickett. I think he's the most kind of balanced quarterback. Like, I think he has the highest floor where coming out day one, I think he's going to be the most polished. However, I do think Malik Willis has a higher upside. But let's talk about Kenny Pickett. So, I think he's good in the pocket. He's very controlled. His footwork's very good. He's very disciplined where he steps. I think he's very accurate of the middle and short area of the field. He is someone who is not going to have these plays like, what are you doing? A lot of plays, you're like, yep, it should go there. He can make those very timed NFL throws. He really throws with anticipation, and he's really great off of play action. So much of the NFL is running the football to the outside, going play action, rolling out on a bootleg, throwing on the run. We see the Vikings do it. We see, the Titans do it. We see the 49ers do it. Even the Cowboys are doing it. The Cardinals do it here and there. So many teams are doing this play-action bootleg, and Kenny Pickett's very good in that area. He also has the ability to take off as well. He has some nice mobility. He's somewhat fast. It's kind of like Aaron Rodgers or Justin Herbert Justin Herbert's actually my comp for him, where you've seen Herbert or Rodgers, they can stay in the pocket and take off. And I think Kenny Pickett can do that. So I do like a lot about him. I do have a couple issues. I do think his deep ball is not the best. It's fine. It's not top tier. It's not bad, though. It's fine. At times on long downs, like third and long, he'll check it down. And while he's throwing on the run, sometimes like going across body, making those crazy throws, he struggles. Kenny Pickett's not an explosive playmaker at quarterback, but he's a very good quarterback with the potential to go into an NFL system and maybe have some high upside. I see a lot of Justin Herbert. I think Herbert has a better deep ball, but Herbert can kind of run a bit. He's very good throwing. That's how I view Kenny Pickett. I love Kenny Pickett to the Steelers. Kenny Pickett goes to Pittsburgh. I mean, that was just a great storyline. Then I have the Panthers. Panthers could take a new quarterback. I think Kenny Pickett is someone who's a nice, polished player. I could see Kenny Pickett and Christian McCaffrey really doing a lot of wonders on the same team. And then I have the Lions. I feel like if the Lions, they need a franchise quarterback, he could fit this. So Kenny Pickett I do really like, and he is very fun to watch. So he is number 2. And then number 3 on this list is Carson Strong. Now, as you can see, my pro comp for him in bold letters in all caps is Mac Jones. It's crazy how much Carson Strong is like Mac Jones, and I really do like Mac Jones. I think Mac Jones has played very well in the NFL so far as a rookie. So Carson Strong from Nevada has a good build. He's 6'4". He is very much a pocket guy. He's very much controlled in a set pocket. I really like his arm. It's not like a wow arm, but you can always tell it's controlled. And what I love about Carson Strong is he's very disciplined. He knows when and when not to take risks. I was watching some tape on him, and a lot of his throws are in double coverage, but it's not like he just chucks it up there. It's not that. He threads the needle so well and so beautifully. Like, there'll be like 2 defenders draped over a wide receiver, and Carson Strong will throw the ball perfectly to his playmaker. It is so great. He knows when to take those risks and when not to. That's my favorite thing about him. And this translates very well into the NFL, throwing it into these tight window throws. That is something that I'm going to stress a lot this video, because that's really what the NFL is. And I think Carson Strong really does that. So his accuracy is just great. He doesn't have a rocket arm, and sometimes on shorter routes it's a bit first read, but that medium area of the field, and he just operates so well in rhythm. He moves very well in the pocket, even though he is not mobile. I think he is someone that is just a very good quarterback at just staying in the pocket. Best fits, I have the Lions. I think he would be great in Detroit. He kind of has that blue-collar work ethic. I just think the Lions would be a great fit. Then I have the Saints. I just feel like that the Saints, they have Jameis Winston, cool. But if you're going to go in a new direction, I feel like Sean Payton can do a lot of things with Carson Strong, kind of being in the pocket. And then the Broncos at 3. I feel like the Broncos like those athletic pocket passes. So, or just kind of guys who can stay in the pocket. So I really like Carson Strong. He's my 3rd quarterback. He could maybe go up for 2. I think Kenny Pickett beats out Carson Strong just because I think Kenny Pickett, has that more mobility. But Kenny Pickett, Carson Strong, they're somewhat close in the pocket passing. Number 4 is a very intriguing prospect. That is Sam Howell at number 4. So Sam Howell, coming out here, he's 6'1", 220 at North Carolina. Last year was great. He was really good. Last season he had a lot of top 5 buzz. And this year he slips down a bit. So what do I like about Sam Howell? Because he is number 4. Well, I think he's overall just kind of a good quarterback off of play action. He can extend with legs. He has a controlled deep ball, and he works well over the middle of the field. He's someone who I think is a type of quarterback, when he plays well, there's nothing to complain about. He makes the throws on time. He knows when to use his legs. He's kind of a tough runner. When he plays well, you're like, yeah, that's a good performance. Is it going to be insane? No. I think other quarterbacks like Malik Willis, Kenny Pickett have that wow potential. I don't see that with Sam Howell. I think when you have a good game, you're like, yeah, that's good. I think He's a good leader too. I watched some of his interviews. I like kind of the confidence he has. So why is he number 4? Well, he's very streaky. When Sam Howell plays great, he plays great. When he doesn't, yikes. It is not too good. He's very risky, and his end zone accuracy can be a bit yikes. He's someone that will play great, and then he won't. It's very up and down, and we've seen that have success. Players, I think at quarterback, Nick Foles, Joe Flacco have been very streaky quarterbacks who've had success and won Super Bowls. But other quarterbacks like Jameis Winston, Ryan Fitzpatrick, somewhat Taylor Heineke now, we've seen that streakiness not work out too well for them. So Sam Howell, I think, is either going to be pretty good or not. I don't think there's going to be any middle ground. And the comp I have for him is Baker Mayfield. Not only does he look like him, but it's a lot of those same things. People say he's a better version of Baker Mayfield. We'll see, though. Best fits for Sam Howell, I have the Broncos. I just feel like he really fits this Broncos mold of this just kind of tall, strong arm-ish guy. He just kind of seems like the guy the Broncos would love. Then I have the Falcons at 2. Falcons kind of run play action. I could see definitely Sam Howell adjusting to that. And then number 3, I have the Browns. In case the Browns do move on from Baker Mayfield, you get Sam Howell. Very similar. But Howell, I think, is either going to be very boomer bust. I'm rooting for him because he seems like a very nice guy. But he is number 4. And then last, but certainly not least at 5, we have Matt Corral. This might be a shocker. A lot of people haven't won him too. I am very low on Matt Corral. Now, I still like him. 6'2" from Ole Miss at 205. There's definitely a lot of elements I do like about Matt Corral. He can extend with legs. He knows when to take off and can go from read A to B to C. There's a lot of things you like with him. He definitely kind of has that look. Like when I first watched his tape, I'm like, yeah, this guy looks good. He kind of has that. Looking at him, the highlights are nice. But I do have some more issues with him the more I watched. He is someone who is very much like Sam Darnold. That is my pro comp for Matt Corral. Sam Darnold coming out was a very athletic player who was kind of turning the ball over a bit, and Sam Darnold hasn't worked out. And that's how I see Matt Corral. He turns the ball over, and he has a lot of turnover risky plays. And a lot of that has to do with his deep ball. He doesn't really throw for anticipation. He has a very wobbly ball. There's a lot of times where I'm like, yeah, that's a good throw. But in the NFL with faster defenders, faster moving players, that's going to get picked off. I mentioned so many times in this video about the NFL tight window throws. And I just feel like that Matt Corral does not have that. I think that what works in college is great. And I'm happy for him. He seems like a very nice guy, a good leader. That's not going to really work in the NFL. I just kind of see Matt Corral being someone who will have some nice plays, but ultimately I think the cons will get the better of him. Now, what fits do I like for Matt Corral? I do see some potential of him in the Washington football team. Because for me, I feel like that Ron Rivera would really like Matt Corral. Corral's kind of that leader, and I feel like that he would be someone that Ron Rivera could kind of, okay, let's kind of help you with your issues, the accuracy. Kind of Matt Corral be's that leader in Washington. I really like him in Washington. Washington needs a quarterback. I think they'll be picking like 11 or 12. I think that's a good fit for Matt Corral. Then I have the Broncos, and I've had the Broncos on here a lot, but I don't know. Matt Corral just seems like a guy who do well in that mile-high weather. And then the Texans, they could use a QB, so I have them here. And I think the Texans, Matt Corral kind of has some of that big play potential, but we'll see. So that's what I have for the top 5. Number 1, Malik Willis from Liberty. Number 2, Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh. Number 3, Carson Strong from Nevada. Number 4, Sam Howell from North Carolina. And number 5, Matt Corral from Ole Miss. I do love Ole Miss as a college, so, Matt Corral's had kind of his ups and down games. I'll definitely recommend watching at least a couple games of Malik Willis at Liberty. I'll say also Kenny Pickett at Pittsburgh. He's getting a lot of hype. Really, all 5 of these guys I would highly recommend watching games of. Other quarterbacks, Desmond Ridder is getting some hype. I like Ridder. I think he has some good leadership. I just kind of worry about his inaccuracies. I might do this video again, like come playoff time for the NFL, do this again in January of next year, kind of see where these guys are at. Because it's going to be very interesting. But let me know what you all think down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this. And thank you for watching another episode of Turnover Tuesday. Take care and have a good one, everyone.